Another day, another task. This time, it's the interviews. Welcome to the QUB Apprentice.
The finish line is in sight, guys. We're now on to task 4. But this is where it gets really interesting. This is where we really separate the wheat from the chaff. Who's going to be the best? Who's going to come out on top? These are the interviews. So I have enlisted the help and assistance of 5 advisors. These guys are at the top of their trade. They know about business. They know about enterprise. And by the end of these interviews, they will know about you. So make sure your CVs are of pristine quality. Make sure your claims can be substantiated. Because if you're found out, you'll be chucked out. And guys, ultimately, you will find yourselves back in the boardroom after these interviews, the interviews from hell, and at least one of you will be fired.
The test here.
The candidates lie in wait for their interviews to begin.
Louise is going to dance.
And I'm going in there to interview them. We're all laughs now.
I know. This just gonna. We'll be fine. Yeah. I've got the manager of Deloitte for my first interview.
I believe
It's gonna be fine.
interview time.
2 minutes past my interview start.
We gonna go?
Well, we'll just.
Okay, and if you had to do it again, would you vary your style? Would you vary anything that you did in the competition?
Well, it's easy to look back in hindsight and suggest improvement. And I think, yeah, I know where I went wrong in some of the tasks and definitely would improve in some areas, such as the first task, our design let us down, so we could have done a better design.
How do you take and motivate people whose skills and capabilities are less than you need or potentially not appropriate to the task, but you're left with a situation whereby you have to work with them because that's what you've got?
I think that occurs quite a lot, like throughout various industries. When I was in 5th year, I was head girl and I was over 32 prefects, and I know there was prefects among those who were selected because of their attitudes in class and their positive attitudes, but they didn't actually want the extracurricular role of being a prefect because it was kind of like having a job within the school and you had to do duties. So when I was allocating the duties for each of the prefects, I discussed individually with those who were less lenient.
So, the QUB Apprentice.
Yes.
Interesting competition to take part
Yeah.
in. Okay. In preparation for the interviews today, I actually watched your YouTube video.
Yes.
Could you tell me a bit about it? What was the strategy behind that?
Well, I just thought I'd looked at last year's apprentice interview, the pitches, and I wanted to stand out. And I thought the way that I'm going to stand out is show my personality. So I showed that you can have a big personality and you can be serious at the same time.
From your other team members, do they think you were a good project manager?
I think they thought sometimes I was a bit indecisive, but I'm not one to make rash decisions, and I never have been. It's going all right. It's hard. I think I come out of each interview and say, I wish I'd have said that, because you just don't know what they're going to ask you.
You put yourself up for this process.
Yep.
Many others didn't. And that says a lot about what you want for yourself going forward. You have managed to be part of teams. You haven't led any teams in the sense of this competition. You have, outside of that, led a big university organisation, and you've proved that you're prepared to get out there and do the work. All very commendable.
So I don't know how it went, to be honest with you. We'll just have to see what way he reacts to everybody else, because he's probably going to give me a harder time because he's obviously got an accounting background, whereas the other candidates, two of them do business. One of them does business management, the other does business IT, and the other does law. So he's going to probably give them a different sort of interview that I got. So he was just basically assaulting me there, I think. But I don't know how it went.
What would you say your
weaknesses are, and we all have them.
I think mainly my brain works 100 times faster than my mouth.
Well, that's just an experience thing, really. That's just sort of training your mind. And
when I moved to the Royal, I joined in September 2010, and when I went into upper sixth just the next year, I was selected as a prefect along with other people who had been at the school for 6 years, and as one of the new pupils I was only the one of the new the sixth form arrivals who was selected as a prefect. So I think it's pretty good that I'd made that impression in just 12 months, while other ones had 6 years to get that impression, to get the award.
I don't know. Sorry, was this wrong place?
There's no such thing as wrong place, there's only a wrong answer. So why did you sit there?
Because there was 2 seats here, I thought that I don't know. Sorry.
Alright, we'll just not punish you for that.
Our main thing is to grill your CV. So one of my problems, I listed my IQ twice by mistake, and she didn't like the format of it, even though that format was what we were given for our placement module to follow exactly. That was our assignment, so I'll have to be taking her feedback on board before I start applying for jobs. I think it shows I've got the knowledge and drive, and with Deloitte, and maybe if I was to start my own business and I was talking to potential clients, trying to get advertising or etc. Like I could say, look, here's what the qualifications and accolade I have. I was voted QUB Apprentice 2012. Look at my results. Look at my qualifications. Like, I'm not here to take you on. I've got what it takes.
So Deloitte's just to be something good on your CV, so that when
no,
you open
no,
up
no.
your own business, that
if Deloitte were to offer me a position, I'd be more than happy to take it.
She was like, "Are you second or third year?" And I was like, "First year." And she's like, "You're first year and you've applied for this and you're doing IBM?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "What do your friends think of you?"
She's probably didn't expect me to go. I haven't got none.
No, I'd still argue with you and say that you think your charm is going to get you by, and I don't think in all cases it will.
The science of success is being well prepared.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't prepare, you're prepared to fail. Yeah, that old saying. So basically, I would every night before each of the tasks, after each task, would write down what I've learned and what I hope to improve by.
Did you genuinely do that on your own? You weren't asked to do it, you simply did it?
No, I did it because I do that with a lot of things in life. Even I'd be quite picky, like some people think I'm mad, like even after a football match I would rate myself and how I play and write down, this is where I went wrong, this is where I can improve, you know. And I feel, and then the next game it's quite conscious in my mind or whatever, or in the next task that, you know, I'm not going to make that mistake again, I'm going to learn from that and move on and hopefully do something better.
Mm-hmm. It blows me away from the point of view of, you say you're an entrepreneur, you say you've got good business acumen, but yet, you know, you're motivated by doing good.
But I think that the idea of raising awareness, I want to make a living from that. I may be helping people, but I'm also going to be helping myself. I don't want to overindulge in ripping people off. I want to provide a service or a product that's going to be beneficial to them, but in doing so I'm going to make money for myself. So I think it's also good to make money for yourself in business. It's important to find a limit to stop, like, to prevent greed. So
the Alan Sugars watched my dopey 1 minute pitch and they go, who the hell is this boy? And Basil McRae near just fired me straight out of the office after he watched it, I think.
This has been the best thing I've done at Queen's by far. I've learned so much skills over time, so much fun, so much skills that are going to do me good in the workplace when I leave Queen's.
32.
Who did you think your target audience was with your video?
It was basically your target audience was students and staff. So if I done kind of an unorthodox approach, I knew a lot of people. And if you look back at the videos, the only one that's got through so far in this process that done your standard elevator pitch was Judith.
What's the biggest thing out of this do you think you're going to take forward into your working life?
Well, it's given me a confidence.
I didn't think you would be lacking in confidence after that video.
Well, that was took in the bedroom. It was just me and one of my housemates.
If I was recruiting from Deloitte, which I'm not, I don't work for Deloitte, but if I was recruiting and I was looking for somebody coming from a business background, you think that I should recruit you?
yeah, because I think I've got a good balance between academic business and out in the real world of business. I've studied business studies throughout both high school and A-level, and now I'm pursuing that here as my degree at Queen's.
Well, actually, that's why I asked you that point. You do not have that on your CV.
Yes, I know, it's a bit of a blip that I've forgotten that, and it's a key point.
In 30 seconds, I would have just dismissed you, so you'd never have got this far.
Yeah.
And I was the one constantly trying to get them to go out and get sales, and I think that's what saved me, because he said I was the best out of them, 3 of them.
And the rest got fired.
The other rest got fired, and I was saved.
Well, the thing is, there's no point in having something if you can't sell it.
Well, I sold the vast majority of the tickets, and I tried my best, and the other team just, it's what let us down. The other team didn't.
I wouldn't call dance a hobby.
Would you not?
Oh, it was a hobby, but my role was not a hobby.
Was it not?
No.
Why?
It was ran, the dance society was ran as any business would be ran. I had to keep hold of the finances. I had to make money for the society, otherwise.
And did you?
I did, yes.
Oh, right. Well, thank you very much indeed. It's been
thank
short,
you very much.
but it's been very, very interesting talking to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm getting better. I'm getting more confident, because it's not every day you have to do all these interviews, one after the other.
I started off talking about the right topic and then got off talking about something irrelevant, kind of extending on, and I should have been a bit more concise with my answers.
The interviews have come to an end. The candidates must now face Isabel Jennings in the boardroom.
So how did today go?
It was an experience.
Well, hopefully we're going to hear a little bit more about it. So we'll maybe start with you, Paul. There's been quite a lot of reference to your superior knowledge and IQ. The difficulty is we haven't actually seen evidence of any of that. So this is your chance to speak up and maybe give us a few examples.
I think throughout the competition I've been thinking up good ideas throughout the competition. In the second task I sourced products, and in the third, sorry I'm getting a bit off track here.
That's okay.
I think in the third task, when we were doing the guided tour, I was able to create a situation when we were in a bad situation, like we were struggling for sales, and I said, right, we've got people in to help us here, and they were originally helping us, and I said, well, why don't they just buy tickets and come to our play? So we were able to get 7 people for sales just out of the people that were helping us.
And do you think that's an example of superior IQ?
No.
So do you regret referencing that in your CV?
I just thought it was something that I should be included.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, moving on to Judith. One of the key pieces of feedback was that your CV wouldn't get you, past the first step of an interview process. On reflection, what changes to your CV would you make?
I think there was, I'd forgot to fill in the course that I was pursuing at university here at Queen's, so that was the major thing that I forgot to fill in. And it also, there's comments on the layout of the CV that it was hard to read. Maybe it's something I can look to in the future for editing it, for applying for placements.
Okay, Sean, moving on to your good self.
Yep.
And, I suppose one of the things that I struggle with and looking over the period of time is no project management.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, basically, I believe that you can lead within a team. I put myself forward in the second task. I was very well prepared for the second task. I showed the boys my brief, my plan for the day. I had it all typed out beforehand. Basically, they weren't, well, it came down to John. He wasn't as keen on me.
Is the truth not that you don't have the courage to lead?
No, I definitely have the courage to lead. If you've seen some of the stuff I've stepped into over the years, there's no problem with courage.
Okay. Moving on to your good self, Louise. Well, clearly your passion for dance and, lots of things in that area come out of your CV, but it's hard to find interest in matters commercial.
Right.
Is it that, you maybe are lucky to have made it this far already?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think my CV is a lot of dance because this is where I've gained a lot of my experience from, but not just dancing. I would say that was a third of what I did running the society as president. I ran it like a business. I had to organise people. I had to keep the books in order. I had to make money.
Okay, guys. Well, I think we've heard enough. What I'd like to do is consult with my colleagues, and if you give us a few minutes, we'll call you back in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The candidates must now await their fate. Who will be fired when they re-enter the boardroom?
Welcome back. Hello.
Okay, we're going to start with Sean this time, and you know, Sean, you can't always rely on who you know or your supposed good looks and you know the cliches and chat-up lines and so forth. So, cutting all the bullshit, you know, why should you stay in this competition?
I'm very hard working as well, and I believe that there's plenty of substance to me. Probably my elevator pitch that a lot of the interviewers watched probably didn't show that. Just basically, I'm very enthusiastic. I'm quite organised, and I didn't have an opportunity to organise a team, which probably would have went against me. Though it's my drive and determination to always succeed. I'm very well prepared. I believe that winning is the science of being well prepared, and basically that's how I live my life.
Okay, and I mean, you mentioned your elevator pitch. I was trying to forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, first impressions mean a lot. You know, how are you ever going to recover from that?
Well, I said today I felt like I was running the 120 metre race and the girls and Paul were running the 100 metre race. But to be honest with you, that was for my target audience. You know, my business awareness. You know, people mightn't know me, but then they'll be watching that video and going, that boy's nuts. I want to see what he's like. So that was the idea behind it.
Okay, maybe moving on to Louise. You know, I think one of the things that comes across is that no one's really clear, you know, what your career ambition is. Do you want to maybe share that with us now?
My ambition is to be successful, and I might not know exactly the company, the job I want to work for yet, but...
So is your passion not more in the creative arts sphere?
No. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done a law degree. Okay. So no, it's not. I have a passion for it, but it's not where my career is going to lead.
Okay. Judith, some of the individuals who interviewed you said you appeared to be bossy, and indeed, you know, that they wouldn't want to work for you. So why should we hire you?
I think maybe bossy is a bit of a stern word. I naturally thrive as a leader, and I enjoy taking on responsibility, and that's why throughout all of the tasks, I put myself forward as project manager all 3 of the weeks. I don't think when playing that role I was bossy as such. I clearly set a vision for our team and a strategy and how we were going to achieve that.
Okay. And Paul, last but not least, I mean, when you came into the room the last time, you acted like you were defeated already. I mean, we were trying to think of a word, you know, that was, you know, defining, you know, how we were perceiving you, and the word was, you know, unconvincing. You know, this being your last chance to speak up for yourself, you know, how can you convince us that you're a credible proposition for this competition?
Well, I feel throughout this competition I've shown that I can succeed. I feel I'm an entrepreneurial personality. I have lots of ideas. I'm very business minded. I have been for years. I've always been a main leader in helping the task succeed, and I think I've shown my ability to succeed.
Okay, well, you know, unfortunately this is not a pleasant job, but with regret, you're fired.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the rest of you, first of all, congratulations on getting this far, but unfortunately only 2 people can get through to the final. So the difficult question that I have to ask you now is, you know, in your view, who deserves to get fired at this point?
I think Sean should maybe be the guy to get fired, because I think if you want to be treated seriously, you need to take the process seriously, and there's been various things throughout the process. When you're dealing with such a prestigious company like Deloitte, and knowing that people within the company is going to see that. Last week when you're on Facebook looking at Halloween photos, and I was sitting there trying to work out what we were going to do with our task.
Okay, and Louise?
It's not nice to say, but I think Sean is the weakest between the 3 of us. He seems to have been a bit lucky over the past 4 weeks. He's been in the losing team, apart from when he was with Judith and I, which is interesting. I think you can't always rely on other people to do the job. You can't always say, I'm going to get this from such and such, I can get this, I can do that. Go do it yourself.
Okay.
Can I defend myself, because they kind of had a go?
Please go ahead.
Well,
girls ganging up on the board.
Well, basically they have worked together as a team throughout the process, and that's fair enough. If that's the way they view me, that's fair enough. They haven't seen the whole side of me, but I feel last week that I was quite instrumental in our task, that I done the whole poster out by myself. I wrote the tour by myself. I gave the tour, and my friends that came along while I was writing the pitch sold the most tickets. So if you're going to view it on that kind of thing, you know, yeah, I did go out and get my friends to give me a hand, but that's using my initiative. Nobody else thought of that. Did your friends come and help us, you know, out during the task? You know, in the last 15 minutes when they sold about 20 tickets, it won us the task.
Your friends didn't sell 20 tickets because I was outside the city hall selling tickets all day, and it was so dry at the start because we actually had to postpone one of our tours, and we just had to amalgamate it into one tour. And when things started to pick up, it took me about half an hour to sell 16 tickets, and then when help came out, I was still selling tickets then, so that would bring my count to over 20 of the total of 45.
No, I definitely would disagree with that. You were just standing over them boys' shoulders, and I was there as well, and you were just going, oh, I'll write the receipt out for this kind of thing. And
that's because there's
if
only
we're
one
going to get
receipt
into
book and everything
nitpicking at
has
this
to be
stage,
accounted for.
like, this is business competition. I'm trying to remain professional as possible, and this is something I really want to do, and I've hopefully proven that over the 3 weeks that I've done tasks and then this week in the interviews.
Bringing your friends from a pub is not professional. With our customer service,
It was
if they were,
we won the task.
Okay, well I think we've heard enough and we'll get the picture in terms of that. But Louise, the other two are making a very strong case as to why you know, the Deloitte proposition and this opportunity is aligned to, you know, their aspirations. You know, at this point I'm still not convinced in terms of your you know, your story in that sense. Is there something else you would like to add?
I think I would love to go on a Deloitte 2-week placement. I don't think it should be said that just because I didn't at the start, maybe 4 weeks ago, say I want to work for Deloitte. I don't think a lot of people would have said that 4 weeks ago. I think people are making, not telling lies, but I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and I know that is the kind of area I want to go into. I want to work in around business, and I know it's broad what I've said to other people, like more the women's side of it and whatnot, and if I was given the opportunity, I would use that opportunity to what I could use it for. So I don't think it's fair to say that I don't know what I want to do, or I don't know, because an opportunity like that, you need something like that to find out where your life's heading. So
okay, well, you know, taking everything into consideration, you know, I think you've got lots of talent, but I'm not sure that necessarily this proposition is right for you. So with regret, you're fired.
Okay, well, thank you.
So we continue the fight now.
You can continue the fight in greater detail.
Well, I'm not friends with Judith anymore. I'm not talking to her. I'm not talking to you till the final's over.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I think like today was hard, like 5 30-minute interviews after another with no breaks. Like that was my first like proper set of interviews, so it's kind of, it's, I think it crumbles now. I can't believe it's the final.
This is the first week where I kind of felt that I could have went. The other weeks I kind of, I don't know if I didn't feel as if it was in the firing line. I kind of, my teammates didn't really have a problem with me throughout the day, so I kind of thought I was okay until there then, and me and Judith were going at it like.
I crumbled pretty much in the boardroom. I went in thinking that I gave me all in the interviews, and obviously it wasn't good enough, so I couldn't have done any more on reflection.
I think people were just too frightened to have 2 women in the final, world dominance and all, so I think that's the reason, purely.
The fact that I've got selected and got this far, it's amazing.
Well, the big dog is still out and he's still in the fight, but as my mate Chico would say, like, don't take life too serious, it's Chico time, like. No, I hope to be a bit more serious with my actions and present a more professional image to the world, and I want to, you know, get a real foothold, you know, in the ladder. I'm just down here now. Next thing you know, in about 30 years time I'll be running Deloitte, so you can see how it goes.
As the sun interviews the horizon, so too does the day conclude for the candidates. With only 2 remaining, who will be crowned QUB Apprentice 2012 winner champion.